Hey guys, Haley here again, and today I am back again with my next haul video. So this will be my March haul. So I'm going to show you all of the anime figures, merch, a little bit of art that I picked up this month. There should be some really good stuff. There are some figures I'm really excited to get into, so without further ado, let's go! First up, we have a bunch of stuff that I picked up from Brown Rabbit Art. I'm a huge fan of her art style, it is so cute. The first thing is this amazingly sweet Demon Slayer poster. Then I got some more Demon Slayer square prints, so we've got Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Inosuke. Then I'm in love with her acrylic charms, so I had to pick up a few. I got a Kaguya and Chika one, a Nezuko, a Tanjiro one, and a W one. Then I actually picked up a lanyard because I use these at work. This one has a really cute Japanese desserts on it. Then I got these enamel pins. I'm in love with the little squirrel one. And my favorite things that I picked up, and the reason that I did the order at all, were these two fridge magnets. They're so happy, they're little fridges, adorable. Next up, I got some enamel pins from Celestial Fox. I got a cute pink laptop, a cute pink milkshake, and this really cute Soot Sprite soda one. And last up, I got these two Magical Girl outfit pins from Onichu. There were so many to choose from, but I ended up going with Ultimate Madoka and Super Sailor Moon. Alright, moving on. I just wanted to say this month's Ayanami card is so cute. I'm in love with the art. First up, Cospa pinch straps. I've now officially banned myself from buying any more of these because I have too many. First up, I've got a Lelouch and a C2. She's eating pizza, very sweet. Then I've got a couple of Rimuru ones, one slime, one non-slime. Then I've got a Miku one, which is very cute. Then I've got a Rilakkuma mask case. This will be very handy as opposed to me just shoving my mask in my bag. Then a couple of stationery items. I've got these Totoro memo cards. Then I've got some Sumiko Garashi tabs. These look like they're Easter tea party themed. I've got this Persona 5 Shikishi board pack. So this is actually the full pack. I wanted to pick these up because I love the bright colors of all of the designs and I'm a huge fan of Persona 5. Last up, very quickly, I did get a couple of clear files. First up is this casual style Lelouch clear file from Code Geass. Next up is this Megami Kato birthday clear file. Moving on to figures. First up, I actually have a prize figure, and it is this 13th anniversary Hatsune Miku birthday pop idol version by Taito. So Taito, of course, is the king of making cute prize Miku figures, and at this point it's getting a bit overwhelming because they keep coming out with cuter and even cuter designs, and I don't really want to buy more than, 5 or 6 of the Taito Mikus, but I wasn't as picky when I pre-ordered her months ago. Anyway, let's see if she is top 5 Taito Miku material. Miku looks incredibly cute here. She's in her birthday cake party dress. I do think the dress is definitely the highlight of this figure. I love the icing rim and all the stars. They look delicious. I want to eat them. I would have liked it if they kept the white lines on the dress like in the original art, but apart from that, the dress is super cute. Her shoes and socks are adorable as well, and I think her face is super sweet, especially her cute smile. I do think her torso on this figure seems like ridiculously small for normal. I don't know, maybe just me. So she is really cute. Taito are so good at making these now. But at some point, I'm gonna have to sell all the ones that I don't really like. I only really want to have like 5 to 6 because they're so easy to collect, they're so affordable, and it's so easy to buy a lot of them. It's really hard because they keep coming out with cuter and cuter designs. Next up, let's do a Nendoroid. I have the 2B Nendoroid from Nier Automata? Never said that out loud. So this is manufactured by Square Enix but distributed by Good Smile and cost me 5,200 yen new from Ayanami. I'm not too much into the existing Square Enix figures of 2B, except for the Flare one, and I am so happy that they're doing a re-release of this figure. I'll be getting the regular version over the DX version where you can take her skirt off and you get the pod. I think 2B with a skirt looks better anyway, so very excited for that. But anyway, let's take a look at itty bitty 2B Nendoroid. So even though 2B is definitely more cool than cute, her Nendoroid still looks very adorable and not very intimidating at all. I really like how they translated her hair. I love the way it's sculpted and shaded. You can take her mask on and off, which is super cool, and she comes with 2 faceplates, a standard one and an attacking one. So she has a bit more of a mature faceplates for Nendoroid. Her eyes are not as big and round, but I still prefer her with the mask on overall. I think they did a good job translating her outfit across, but I would have preferred it if they had the pattern in the skirt in silver as opposed to etched in. I think that would make it pop way more. She comes with 2 swords and you can do many different attack poses with the effect pieces, or you can just have them behind her back with this special Nendoroid piece. She comes with a little pod, which is very cute, and a black box as well. Yeah, I think this 2B Nendoroid is really, really great. I think if they did the silver detailing, that would have pushed it into the amazing league. But still, I'd recommend picking this up if you are a 2B fan. And there's also the 9S Nendoroid up for pre-order, and he is so cute. I love him. Very exciting. Next up, I have the Aqua Pop Up Parade by Good Smile Company. This was 3,300 yen, which is such a good price. So one of my previous hauls, I picked up the Megumin figure, so now I'm sure she's happy to have a friend. So after opening her, I think her sculpt is very nice, her paint is very clean, and I think her face looks really cute. Love her smile. But I've come to realize that I'm not that impressed with this figure, and I couldn't work out why, because on paper she's good and she's the same as the Megumin figure, which I did like. So I had to really think about it, and I've come to 2 reasons why I think I'm not that in love with this figure. So first, Aqua's colors, especially her hair, are a lot lighter than Megumin's, and darker colors help hide any flaws and flatness, and so I wasn't really impressed with Aqua's hair, especially her bangs. It's not that Megumin's is better, it's just that I can see Aqua's clearer. So I think shading here would have really helped define the hair shape and prevent it from looking flat and one-dimensional, which is exactly what they do for her Nendoroids or her other scales to make her hair look better. And the second thing is Aqua doesn't have a lot of sculpt texture or details, which overall makes the figure look a little flat and plain. Megumin has a bit more dimension because she's got those leg bandages, a hat, and a staff. And when you compare them to Neko pop-up parades, they have so much detail and folds going on that when you first look at it, it looks really impressive. But you don't get that when you first look at Aqua. I think they needed to bring in the airbrush here to do a bit of shading, like they did with the Saber Lily pop-up parade, just to help Aqua pop. I hope that wasn't a hot take. I think the Aqua figure is quite good. It's just that if Good Smile are pitching pop-up parades as better than prize figures, then they should kind of put in a little more effort to make the figure better than a prize figure. Next up, we have another Nendoroid. This is the Hatsune Miku Korin Kimono version Nendoroid. So I thought that this Nendoroid was so beautiful when I first saw her online, but I was thinking I shouldn't get her because I already have a detail full of Miku Nendoroids. But then I found out that this Nendoroid was produced to help raise funds for the Korin Kimono Restoration Project. So I looked into the project more, and it's run by the Tokyo National Museum. So the Korin Kimono is the only piece of garment left that has patterns drawn by the famous Japanese artist Ogata Kōrin, best known for his folding screen art. You've probably seen it before. And this was all the way back in the 1600s, and it is in dire need of restoration. Apparently, the threads are falling apart. So the museum is hoping to raise 15 million yen to restore this kimono so that future generations can continue to admire it. So they got an artist, Morikura En, to draw Miku in this beautiful kimono, and she's in front of the Tokyo Museum, and they started selling, prints and clear files of this artwork to raise money towards the project. And they got Good Smile involved to make a Nendoroid of Miku in the kimono. And after I did all this reading, I was like, okay, I'll buy her because now I'm kind of invested. So of course this Nendoroid is absolutely stunning. Good Smart Company have made enough Miku Nendoroids now that they've got it down to a science. The kimono looks beautiful. The level of detail in the pattern is amazing. These patterns are probably the most detailed out of all of the kimono Nendoroids I've seen. Like, you can see the outline of each individual petal of all the flowers. She comes with 3 faceplates, a standard one, a super pretty smiling one, and another smiling one with her eyes closed. All very precious. Props wise, she comes with an umbrella, which looks very pretty paired with her kimono, and she comes with a flower as well. There's not a lot of flexibility with posing this Nendoroid. You can basically just move her arms, and her hair is so long as well that it basically touches the ground and actually helps to support her. Despite this, I do think they look very natural and the hair flows very beautifully down. So she was 5,700 yen from Ayanami, which is quite expensive for a Nendoroid, but I am happy that I picked her up. And I'm excited one day when I go to Japan again to go to the Tokyo Museum and see the original kimono, and hopefully it's been beautifully restored and I can say, hey, I put like $5 towards that because I bought this. Who needs legs when your hair will just hold you up? Let's do a scale figure now. I have this 1/7 Dreamtech Kurisu Makise lab coat style figure from Wave. This is my first Wave figure. I was super excited to see a Kurisu figure up for pre-order because I love her character and I'd love to have more figures of her. I was initially on the fence about this one because the faces didn't look quite right. But I did really like the pose. In the end, I decided to pre-order her and see how it goes. She was 14,700 yen from Ayanami, which I think is pretty expensive, especially if you compare that to the Good Smile Kurisu figure, which I think looks a bit better, although that is a 1/8. But there's a new Alpha Max Kurisu up for pre-order now, which looks kind of jank, it just looks a bit weird. But they also want like 14,000 yen for that, so I guess figures are just, like, this is just the price of figures now, it's just expensive. Anyway, I'll shut up and we can take a look. So after opening her, I'm kind of underwhelmed by this figure. I'm thinking maybe I made a mistake pre-ordering her. Starting with her head, it's ball jointed, so it's a little uncomfortable to pull off, but this means you can also move her head from side to side, which is pretty cool because you can pose her slightly differently. She ended up coming with 3 faceplates, a slightly smiling one, which is the best one in my opinion, a serious looking one, which I don't think works too well with the mad scientist pose, and a mouth open one, but I just hate this faceplate. I hate the shape of the mouth, it just does not look good to me. The rest of the figure is fine. I think the base is really cool, especially. I think it's a great reference to use from the show. I might have made it a little bit lighter, just so her legs don't blend into it. And I actually quite like the body of the figure. I think it's sculpted well and painted alright. My biggest complaint would be the finish of her tights. They're too glossy, so they definitely don't look like tights, like it's not fooling anyone. But overall, when I look at her, there's just something not quite right with the figure. And I think it's the head shape or the way her fringe and her bangs look over her face. I think they just sit a little too low that there's not enough face showing. Also, I'm just full of complaints. She seems a little small for a 1/7 to me. I have no scientific backing whatsoever, but mate, if you told me this was a 1/8, I'd probably believe you. I feel like maybe I'm being too harsh on the figure. It's just that for 14,000 yen, I would like to love it a lot more than I do. She's definitely better than a prize figure, 100%, but I feel like I would recommend getting the Good Smile Company one, even if that's a 1/8 scale. I just think that one looks more authentically Kurisu to me, which is a shame because the pose and the flowy lab coat is a super cool design and idea. If you thought I was done with Nendoroids, I have 2 more for you, but we'll do these as a pair because this is Asuka and Rei, Nendoroids Plugsuit versions from Good Smile Company. I I was very hyped to see that finally we're getting Evangelion Nendoroids where they're in their Plugsuits. I did think Good Smile Company played us a little dirty to say, hey, get the school uniform versions. Psych, here's the Plugsuit versions. Like if I'd known, I might have just got the Plugsuit ones only. So I did just get Asuka and Rei and skipped the Mari, Shinji, and Koru just to save my wallet a little bit. They were both 4,800 yen from Ayanami, and let's take a look. So both Asuka and Rei look great translated into little Nendoroids. I think their faces look really good, and I'm very happy with the hair sculpt and coloring on both of them. Asuka comes with her standard expression, a classic shouting one, and of course her like sicko mode face, and she's also got a removable eye patch. Rei has her classic Rei no emotion face, a sad faceplate, and an angry faceplate. So both of these Nendoroids are actually fully articulated, which is kind of rare. I don't see these too much. I don't mind the legs. I think they look quite good. They do kind of remind me of like My Little Pony hooves. But I don't like the arms. I think the arms add too many lines and joints that it does take away from the Nendoroid. I also have some issues with their Plugsuits. There's different finishings for different pieces of the Plugsuits, like the torso compared with the arms and legs, since it doesn't really make sense and it feels more like a manufacturing choice than a style choice. It makes the Plugsuit look like it's 5 different pieces as opposed to one suit. As for props, they both come with the entry plug seat, which I wasn't too excited about, but now that I have them, I think they're actually really cool. Asuka comes with her twin blade, which is really fun to pose with, a little gauge, and a backpack. I'd kind of rather them ditch the last two and just give us her hat and her like bomber jacket. That would have been so cool. Rei comes with a little satchel and a scythe, which is super cool. Like Rei doesn't do much else, so I guess I'm struggling to think of any other props they could have thrown in for her anyway. Apart from the arm joints, I am really happy that I picked up these two. I think they look really good together. And I'm really excited for Asuka to join the rest of her kind over on her Asuka shelf up there. Alright, and moving on to the final figure, I'm very excited about this. This is the Rita Rossweisse 1/8 scale figure by miHoYo. So you've probably heard of miHoYo. They're the developers behind the super popular Genshin Impact, but they also developed Honkai Impact the 3rd, and that's where Rita is from. And I guess they manufacture figures as well. I'm very excited to see the quality. There's a whole thing where miHoYo, Apex, Mythos, like figures aren't allowed on my figure collection because they're Chinese manufacturers, but the quality is amazing and I think they should be on the site anyway. So confession time, I haven't played Honkai Impact the 3rd, and I try not to let myself buy figures from games or animes that I haven't watched or played, but I remember seeing this figure when she went up for pre-order and being like, wow, she's so beautiful and like almost so pretty that I played the game just so I can buy the figure. But I didn't pre-order her, and she stuck with me. And so when she came out, I was still like, wow, I still really want that figure. And I watched Leah's video review of her, and I thought she was beautiful, and that was the final straw. I picked her up. She is wearing this beautiful gown with lovely gold detailing and dark red highlights, and I'm in love with this color scheme. I also really like her pose. I love the inclusion of the umbrella. It makes the figure way more interesting to look at, and I thought it was a really nice touch to add the little hanging charm off of the umbrella as well. It's such a small detail, but it really helps to distribute color evenly across the figure, if that makes sense. I think her hair is lovely, and I love her facial expression, especially the little mole under her eye. I think they could have done a little more with the silk sash that she has. I think it might have looked more dramatic if she had her other arm out and it draped on her arm. They also painted the back of the umbrella, which seems a little pointless. Maybe they should have painted the art on the inside. That's kind of what they did in the reference art, so that might have been cool. So she was 13,000 yen secondhand, and that's actually pretty expensive for a 1/8 scale, but she's actually huge. She's actually way bigger than a 1/8, but she looks in place with all of my 1/7 figures, so I'm gonna say that she's pretty much a 1/7. Overall, I am super happy with this figure. I fell in love with her design, color, aesthetics, and I'm really happy that in person the details are on point, and super pleasantly surprised that she's as big as she is. I think that's a really nice bonus. Alright, that is all the figures I had to show you guys. I feel like I may have been a little harsh on some of the figures in this video, but I think I've learned a lesson in if I'm on the fence about a figure or if I'm not 100% in love with it, I should probably just skip the pre-order and save my money. Most of these I did pre-order, you know, 6 months ago and stuff, so I wasn't quite in the same mindset, but it does help. It means that when everything arrives, you're 100% more in love and you don't have to think about selling some of the figures you're not as into. But yeah, that is everything in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my figures. Did you agree with my opinions? Let me know. Yeah, otherwise I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye!